Ooh, guys, it's another X-Men movie. X-Men Apocalypse. What is X-Men Apocalypse?
Hey, everybody.
So who starts this? Do you talk first? Do I talk first?
I talk first.
Okay,
I talk.
you talk first.
First of all, welcome. Welcome to the show. Second of all, we found LB.
He's alive.
I'm back.
He's
Right there.
alive.
And look at his new layout.
Got a new house and everything.
Look at the floral print.
Yeah, and we're drinking out of kitty cups.
I didn't get a kitty cup. Fuck you guys.
Dude, when you come
They're like $1 at Target. Come on.
I went to a dollar store.
I don't have a Target.
Look at how big this is. Look at how big this thing is. This is $1 at a dollar store, and it has turtles on it. That's dope.
Dope.
So, we're here to ask you the most important question of the day. What the hell is X-Men Apocalypse, and why should you care? So, I ask you, Mr. Birch, what the hell is X-Men Apocalypse, and why should we care?
X-Men Apocalypse. Well, first of all, to understand the movie X-Men Apocalypse, we first have to understand who Apocalypse is.
Apocalypse.
So, I'm just gonna... What's that?
Yeah, Apocalypse, as I will be referring to it.
Who Apocalypse? Apocalypse
Mad Max it.
Uh,
Apocalypse.
was first created in 1986, and this is kind of cool. Apocalypse was actually created by a female writer.
Really?
Kind of neat, right? Louise Simonson. Originally, what they did was Bob Layton was writing issues of X Factor, and he introduced the Alliance of Evil, and he was going to reveal the villain. He was dropping hints that there was someone kind of behind the scenes who was leading them, and he was going to have it be the Daredevil villain, Owl,
Okay.
who was in the show, the Daredevil TV show. Bob Harris was the editor. He wanted a new villain to be introduced, so they dropped him. They got a new writer, Louise Simonson, who came up with Apocalypse. She basically just drew up this character, and they all loved it, and they just kind of roll with it. What they wanted was a first-class, A-level character who was a Magneto-level villain who would up the stakes and give the X-Factor team reason to exist. So, Apocalypse originally was... the big legend around him is that he's the very first person to be born with the mutant X gene. He's the very first mutant. He was born thousands of years ago in Egypt, and he was abandoned by his people because his X gene gave him gray skin and blue lips, which is weird. He was rescued by a guy called Bal of the Sandstormers, who saw him as someone who could be a survivor, and they named him En Sabah Nur, which is Arabic for the morning light. Marvel also translated to as the first one. First mutant. Aha. The Sandstormers are the people that raised him, and they live by the credo of survival of the fittest. Like, if you are strong enough to survive hardship, then you are worthy of life. And that's why Apocalypse believes that. So then he got in like this argument with some other Egyptians, and he just kind of rampaged and decided to rename himself Apocalypse. And what he did for years and years was he traveled around Earth. He told a bunch of civilizations that he was a god, which inspired all kinds of legends about him. And then he encouraged them and manipulated them into fighting wars. He justified this by encouraging growth, judgment, and destruction. And now he has hit the X-Men. What he does is he recruits 4 mutants to serve as his personal guards, the 4 Horsemen, and then he just kind of destroys everything and rebuilds civilization the way he wants it to be.
Now, one of the most important comic books in X-Men history is a what-if verse of if they failed to stop Apocalypse. It's called Age of Apocalypse. It's actually a fantastic read. It's great. And when I originally heard that this movie was going to be Apocalypse, they were throwing around the title Age of Apocalypse, and I wanted to smack people. Because it seems like this new trilogy is just taking these graphic novel sets and making them and then bastardizing them
Butchering him, yeah.
with with
Days of Future Past.
First
yeah.
Class, Days of Future Past, and now they're doing Apocalypse, and I don't know what's going on. So, now that you know who Apocalypse is, he's coming to the X-Men movieverse by playing by probably, I would say, all of our favorite actor right now.
And the world's favorite actor, I think.
I haven't seen anything I don't like him in yet. Even when he's playing a scummy villain in Ex Machina, he's amazing. Oscar Isaac's playing him. Love it. But now let's move into the part of why the hell should you care about X-Men Apocalypse? So, who wants to start? LB, why should you care about X-Men Apocalypse?
Well, if you watched the 90s cartoon series like I did and grew up on that, then you remember Apocalypse as being this ultimate badass, and you wanted to see him in the movies eventually, so you're really excited to see him. That's why you should watch it.
That's why you should watch it.
That's the one reason you should watch it.
But there has been all kinds of problems.
I didn't say there weren't
just
more
read
reasons
this.
not to watch it.
I just read this. I didn't realize this movie takes place 10 years after Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
Which took place like 10 years after First Class, supposedly.
Yeah.
So now we have these characters who've got to be their late 30s, I'm pretty sure, in the case of like McAvoy and Fassbender.
They got to
So
be
they
into
should
their
probably
50s.
start.
They gotta be in like
Yeah,
the 40s
they
and
should
50s.
probably start looking more like Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen.
Yeah, because
But-
we're in '86 now, and like when did
Yeah.
X-Men 1 took place in like what 99, 2000?
Yeah.
Something like that.
We should be going into their older selves now with not
And
so
now
gray
I'll
hair.
just have McAvoy shaving his head for the first time.
Yeah,
so.
okay. Well, what the hell's up with the first trailer of this? Which the big like hook ending was showing McAvoy with his head shaved. I'm like, what the shit? Like this
Bald now. We're all
movie-
waiting for this.
I really feel like this movie's doing everything in its power for me to hate it. I really do.
I'm gonna have to see it, but I don't know. First of all, I've told you on this podcast before, I am burnt out on X-Men movies
Yeah,
at this point.
Deadpool doesn't
I
count.
enjoyed.
Deadpool doesn't count.
No, Deadpool does not count. I enjoyed Days of Future Past quite a bit, but I don't know. It just kind of seems like they've like cleared everything up, and now they're like, oh, but this is happening now too. And now it's just confusing because like, did Apocalypse exist in the original timeline? Did he not?
That's
Did he
the
Did he
thing.
get
Like,
created because they messed with time, and now all of a sudden he exists?
Well, the way I'm looking at it is that he exists in the new timeline of. So again, then everything that happens in this movie doesn't matter because we know Jean, Cyclops, Storm, Beast all get out okay. James McAvoy makes out
well,
okay.
and
turns into
now
Patty
now
Stewart.
they're saying, who's directing this fucking thing?
Singer again.
Bryan Singer, yeah. Bryan Singer is saying now that because people have asked him about that. They're like, so should we like have any suspense going into this movie? Because we saw the ending of Days of Future Past. We saw that they're all grown ups and they're all fine. Should we even be any concern about Apocalypse? And he said, no, that could still change. Apocalypse can still change that future.
No, it's time.
Which would imply that Apocalypse is traveling through time, which I don't think he is.
I apply it to a lot of ideas of time travel and time, how things work in movies. And basically, as long as your movie sets up how it should work, you can do whatever you want because nobody knows what the hell's going on. And Days of Future Past set it up that Wolverine changed the past, therefore his future is there. That means everything that happens from here on out in that series leads up to Wolverine's. We didn't create a new timeline. There's no new shift. You if you're going to do that, you need to portray it in the movie that's saying something shifts and something's not right, and you need Patty Stewart talking to James McAvoy going, something fucked up.
Something fucked up. Well, then what's also confusing is, so Wolverine, in general, about this movie, it was rumored for a long time he was going to not even be in it, and then it was, like, kind of confirmed that he would be, and now it's confirmed that he will be, but then, like, in the last trailer we got, the very last shot is the claws popping out from some guy's hand. Looks like Wolverine, all assuming it's Wolverine, and then Singer's being all weird about it. He's like, are you sure that's Wolverine that you saw?
I
So I don't...
okay, this is what I was going to bring up about Singer, and I don't know if he's rubbing me the wrong way yet or not, because that pisses me off. But then he went out and defended Oscar Isaac as Apocalypse, and I was like, okay, that's cool, because he dealt with a lot of shit with, like, when the first picture was released, everyone was joking, he looks like Ivan Ooze, because he looked like Ivan Ooze.
He did in the first picture.
He still kind of does to me, because your design team went with this whole swirly, weird Ivan Ooze look instead of Apocalypse. And then he starts talking about how, I like this what he said. He goes, people are yelling at me because he's too short. Well, I cast a good actor. I didn't want to cast, a 7-foot tall bodybuilder meathead and not be able to get any good scenes out of him. I wanted to get a good actor. And I'm like, yeah, but we're living in a post-Lord of the Rings world where you can change the heights of everybody just by doing a little bit of set design. I'm a little upset that Storm and Psylocke, played by Olivia Munn, are taller than Apocalypse. And he goes, oh, well, he changed his sizes. That's not the point. Apocalypse has always been this towering giant.
Huge.
Always has been. Yes, he grows bigger, but he's always been a towering giant. Something you step into and go, oh, shit. Not, what's up, Ivan Ooze? Uh-oh. We're in trouble.
What you doing? Something's come along and burst our bubble.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God. We just made a reference to a 1995 movie.
We went there. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, everything in this movie is trying to make me hate it. It is.
Yeah. Well, and then it's also, I'm reading the description they gave of Apocalypse in this movie. He goes, when things start to go awry or when things seem like they're not moving towards evolution, Apocalypse destroys those civilizations. Apocalypse is Ultron.
So maybe the reason he exists now is because this timeline is different from the other one.
Oh, that'd be cool. That would be a neat, interesting wrinkle in time, and I would be totally for that. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm trying to, because we haven't really talked about this, and the new trailer dropped a week ago or something like that. So I'm trying to get my thoughts together. But one of my problems was there's this really good scene where you find out that Magneto is one of the Horsemen now, and he has this line where he says, "Whatever good you saw in me is gone when I buried my family." And you're like, okay. And it shows this quick flashback of him, burying a wife. The problem is that is instantly diffused in, the next scene when Mystique goes to get Quicksilver. And Quicksilver says, by the way, Magneto's my dad. Him and my mom totally boned. And you're like, so did he bury Quicksilver's mom? Or is this a new one? And then Magneto having family values doesn't matter because he left these kids alone. What the hell's going on?
Where did this concern for his family come out of?
Exactly. So, and then the other big problem, and we talked about it off camera, was that it doesn't seem like anyone's learning from the mistakes from the last films. Of X-Men X2 and X3 of, well, everybody loves Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, we'll make him the main character. And then the same thing's going on with Jennifer Lawrence's Mystique. We even noticed the fatigue in Days of Future Past. We're going, why is Mystique getting all of this attention? Oh, because
why is Mystique so goddamn important?
When she's not. Because Jennifer Lawrence
she's just phoning it in anyway.
Yeah, and now she looks like she's the center character of this movie. She's training the new X-Men, and I'm going, what the shit?
Yeah, her and Charles are the leaders of the X-Men in this version. Well, and also what this movie has to do is confusing as well, because Singer has said this film is a conclusion of 6 X-Men films, yet is also a potential rebirth of younger, newer characters, and it's the true birth of the X-Men. It's also got to be the conclusion of his trilogy, First Class, Days of Future Past, and now this. So,
well, he wasn't involved in First Class, I didn't think.
Yes, he was. He was.
He directed that one, right?
No.
He was at least
Matthew
behind.
Vaughn.
He was at least behind a lot of it because it was under
Was not.
his. It was under his company.
Ugh.
Okay.
Because I remember walking in, going, "Why are they showing The Usual Suspects?" Oh no, never mind. It's a logo.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Oh, and William Stryker is back in this movie too. So I guess we still
is
care
he
about
played
him.
by somebody else again? Because like the fourth fucking character.
No, it's the same guy who played him in the last one.
Oh Jesus! So the annoying bitch. Okay. Like literally, you take a character that is semi-important in the comics, not really. I'm sorry, he isn't, and you kind of build him up in this universe as being an important character, and then you hand it off to Mr. Standard white dude looking motherfucker, and like nothing important about him, and he was generic as shit in Days of Future Past, because he was poop dick.
And I'm looking at his Wikipedia entry, and he's best known for his role as William Stryker in X-Men: Days of Future Past.
It's not good. Not good.
Wait. Was he played by someone else in Origins?
Yes, he was.
Wolverine?
Yeah,
Right.
I think Stryker's been played by like
Three people.
3 or 4 different guys now.
Yeah. Yeah. Like even though Origins was bad, the guy who played him in Origins was pretty good. You know, he was leaning into the guy who I don't remember the guy's name who played him in X2, but he was fantastic.
Brian Cox.
Yeah. Cox is amazing always. Total soundbite that shit right there. Cox is amazing. But yeah, generic and like they're throwing like all kinds of characters into this for what seems to be no reason. Like, let's put Nightcrawler back in it because everybody loved Nightcrawler. Let's show him fight the Blob in a cage match because that was kind of a cool scene in X-Men Origins.
Cyclops is in this movie. Storm is in this movie. Jean Grey is in this movie.
Angel's in this movie, but it's a character going by the same hero name as Angel from X-Men First Class.
That's
but
confusing.
It's like
That's
the same
really
Angel that Ben
confusing.
Foster played in X-Men 3, but it's not the same guy.
Yeah, and,
Or is it?
And they're just rushing to what everybody knows about Angel is that he becomes a horseman, so he's going to get metal wings, and you're just like, Stop pulling a Warner Brothers. Take the time, set things up. Don't rush to what we want to see. Be more Marvel, less Warner Brothers. Oh,
That's Apocalypse.
and,
What are you gonna say?
and Olivia Munn's in it as Psylocke.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I like her as an actress. And I'm really glad when I found out that she turned down Deadpool.
Yeah.
She turned it down because she didn't want to
Yeah.
be just another girlfriend character. But you know what? I can't remember her name. Inara from Firefly was amazing in Deadpool. And
Marina Baccarin?
I'm glad they got her. I really am.
Hey, Magneto has fallen in love with a woman in Poland in this movie.
Oh, so he has 2 bastard kids and falls in love with a woman in Poland, which is the original story to the twins, that they're from Poland, but now they're not. So, again, it doesn't really diffuse... It actually hurts him saying, I lost it when I buried my family. Well, what about your other family you abandoned, asshole?
Bill, they're from Sarkovia, remember?
Yeah. Sokovia.
Your moral compass is not
Yeah,
is not very strong,
you
sir.
killed Kevin Bacon.
Fuck. I haven't forgiven you for that. Oh, and apparently Quicksilver has been searching for his father for the last 10 years.
Well, it's pretty easy to find a guy who can move all kinds of fucking metal.
Where is he? I don't care. Put him in the movie.
So why the hell should you care about Apocalypse? Because maybe we'll be done with X-Men movies. I don't know.
Maybe then they'll give the
that's the
rights
second
back to
reason.
Marvel.
I hope it doesn't suck, but it has so
I hope
much.
it doesn't either.
It has so much going against it that I don't even fucking know anymore.
I don't know that I can trust a Fox movie to handle this many characters. This is absurd. I'm looking at the list now.
So
A lot of characters.
Let's end this video and go see Civil War, shall we?
Yeah, there's probably still a showing tonight. You want to go?
Yeah, let's go.
Here we go.
Thanks for watching. I hope you
Why?
Yeah.
this clears things up because
Now you know.
we're now more confused. LB, sign us off.
Bamf.